My name is Alice and I have been living in Diamond City for as long as I can remember. I was born here, in the heart of the Commonwealth, where the ruins of Boston still stand tall, and the radiation still lingers in the air. But despite the harsh conditions, Diamond City has always been a place of hope and survival. I remember when I was a child, Diamond City was just a small settlement, a few families trying to make a life for themselves, in this desolate wasteland. But as the years went by, more and more people flocked to Diamond City, seeking refuge from the dangers of the outside world. And with the help of a few brave individuals, including my parents, Diamond City grew bigger and stronger, reclaiming more land and resources for its people. But as the city grew, so did the corruption within its walls. The leadership, once noble and just, became consumed with greed and power. They began to make decisions that only benefited themselves, while the rest of us struggled to survive. The once hopeful and thriving community was now divided and oppressed. I watched as my parents, who were once respected members of the community, were cast aside and left to fend for themselves. They were no longer needed or wanted by the corrupt leaders. And it wasn't just my parents, many others suffered the same fate. It was clear that something needed to be done, but no one had the courage to stand up against the powerful leaders of Diamond City. I, too, was afraid. I didn't want to risk my life or the lives of my loved ones. But as I watched my community suffer, I couldn't just sit back and do nothing. I knew I had to do something, even if it meant going against the leaders of Diamond City. So, I started a business. At first, it was just a way for me to make a living and survive in this harsh world. But as my business grew, so did my resolve to fight against the corrupt leaders. I used my business as a front, a way to gather information and resources for those who were brave enough to stand up against the leadership. I would twist my words and make deals with the leaders, all while secretly working with the resistance. I knew I was taking a risk, but I couldn't just stand by and watch as my community suffered under the leadership's tyranny. As my business grew, so did the resistance. We were a small group, but we were determined to bring justice to Diamond City. We would meet in secret, planning and strategizing our next move. And through my business, I was able to gather valuable information about the leaders' plans and their weaknesses. But as our resistance gained momentum, I started to feel the weight of my actions. I was putting my loved ones in danger, and I knew that the leaders wouldn't hesitate to retaliate against those who went against them. I struggled with my decision, torn between my duty to the community and my desire to keep my loved ones safe. But then, something happened that changed everything. The leaders of Diamond City made a decision that would affect every single person living within its walls. They were going to cut off resources to the outside world, leaving us all to fend for ourselves. It was a death sentence for many, including my parents who relied on outside resources for their survival. That was the final straw for me. I couldn't just stand by and watch as my community suffered and died because of the selfish actions of the leaders. It was time for the resistance to take action. I rallied my fellow resistance members and we launched an attack on the leaders. It was a risky move, but we had the element of surprise on our side. And with the help of the people of Diamond City, who were tired of being oppressed, we were able to overthrow the corrupt leaders and take control of the city. It wasn't an easy battle, and many lives were lost, but in the end, justice prevailed. Diamond City was finally free from the tyranny of the corrupt leaders. And as I stood on the balcony of the mayor's office, looking out at the city I grew up in, I knew that it was all worth it. I had started as a simple business owner, just trying to survive in this harsh world. But in the end, I became a leader, a symbol of hope for my community. And as I looked out at the people of Diamond City, all coming together to rebuild and make a better life for themselves, I knew that no matter what the future held, we would face it together, as a united community. Yay, the end. Oh right, yeah, I have to do this stuff now. Like, comment and subscribe. And please watch my other videos and comment ideas on stories.